So this is it, you guys. This is the new hero coming to Predecessor in patch 1.10, Eden. My name is Former Glorde, and I just want to say thank you so much for checking out this video. If you would, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. And a huge thank you to Ometa and the Creators Guild for giving me this opportunity to take an early access look at patch 1.10. So without further ado, let's get into it. She is a stance swapping hero that goes back and forth from range to melee. She is meant to be played in the carry position in the duo lane alongside your favorite support. We're going to take a look at her abilities really quickly and then show you what her kit looks like in action. So her passive is Helios Core. You build heat up to 300 by damaging heroes. When your heat is at 300, you are able to cast your ultimate ability. Your heat will decay after 3.5 seconds of not damaging enemy heroes. Heat generation is increased based on the level of ultimate that you have. Running through her abilities in the ranged stance, her Q is Tachyon Lance. As a piercing laser, it will fire through all enemies hit. It deals 235 damage and then 60% reduced damage to targets hit beyond the first. We'll skip E for now. In her range stance, her alternate ability is called Sidewind. It is a movement ability. It will allow you to jump in the direction that you're moving when you cast the ability. It empowers your next basic attack within 1.5 seconds to do what they're calling a rail shot, and it explodes when it hits, and it deals empowered damage as well. Her ultimate in her ranged stance is called Limit Break Apex Cannon. She flies up into the air and fires 4 beams down onto the ground. Enemies are highlighted in this there's a cool experience that happens with the HUD that I'll show you. It's a 40% slow on enemies hit and then just does a good bit of damage. Going back to her E ability, it's called Zero Shift. This is how Eden is going to swap back and forth between ranged and melee. And I should add, when she's in her ranged stance, she gains 40 physical power, and when switching to her melee stance, she restores health equal to 30% of the damage dealt to heroes. So this is what it looks like when she switches to her melee stance. Melee optimization. She gets kind of like a gold look and has these very cool blades that extend off of her wrists, and she gets a whole new suite of abilities whenever she switches over to her melee abilities or her melee stance. So her Q in her melee stance is called Axiom Strike. It is a spinning claw attack. She spins rapidly 2 times, deals damage to enemies per hit, and then she launches a ground projectile in a line in front of her when it ends that deals an additional damage, and also all targets hit will be slowed by 40% for 0.75 seconds. Her alternate ability in melee is called Talon Drive. It is a dash that is you target a hero. So you cannot target environment, you cannot target minions. You must target either like a jungle camp or an enemy hero. This does damage and slows the target by 40% for a half second. Her ultimate in this melee stage is called Limit Break Heaven's Comet. So she's able to teleport a short distance, and then it's a fury of movement and claw strikes. And each of these strikes are going to deal 68 physical damage, and then the damage is going to decrease by 10% per consecutive hit up to 80%. Targets being hit by this ultimate will be slowed by 15% for half a second, and then at the very end of the duration, she slams the ground from above, dealing one last little bout of damage in the area of effect. The last thing I want to point out to you about the melee stance is that her basic attacks follow a chain. So it's light, 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 light. So 4 light attacks and then a heavy attack. The heavy attack deals significantly more damage than the light attack. So you'll want to pay attention to where you're at in the chain. I wanted to show you guys a couple of cool examples from the early access patch. So this is a piercing shot to get some early damage, jump in to close the distance, switch stances, do some AoE damage, and then I got to 278 heat there. I was so close to an ult. Switch back to range, finish off Bellica. We have another clip here where I'm chasing this Grux down, dash over the terrain, get some early damage, switch stances on him, close some distance, and take him down that way. And that is Eden, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.